I got to call KNSI. We got 5 minutes till we're on. Let's make this phone call. We're making our return to radio today. We're going to be on Ox's show talking about Unite Cloud. Oh, this is exciting. This is just fun.
I'll talk with the Ox.
Hey, it's Aaron and Johnny with Steel Toe. Ox wanted us to call at 9:35, just checking in a little early.
Yeah, Aaron, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we just got about 5.5 minutes left to our news break here, and we'll have you guys on.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Yep, thanks.
All right.
Plot got out of his vehicle and started walking toward another man who was walking alone, and the two
They're doing
immediately
the
began
news.
exchanging gunfire.
So we got what they say? We got about 5.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Responder community
I want to kind of keep an eye on it. All right, here's what we're doing right now. From this moment on, we're radio friendly.
Oh.
Vocally. We are verbally radio friendly right now.
Did you remember the first?
What's that?
Nothing. I was going to remind you about my first appearance on the radio show once.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Going live with Ox in a couple minutes on at KNSI News to talk Unite Cloud's death. Join us. There we go. We'll put that up. There you go. We'll put it on the Steel Toe page as well. This is fun. I'm excited. Guys, we're going to do this. Matt Joe, rain. Oh, okay. I see what he's doing. We're going to do this at 9:35. I'm guessing this is going to be like a 10, 15-minute thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, we could do the Chad Zumach, Kate Meany thing, I suppose. We could talk about this porn star who died. We got a bunch of news stories we can do. We got...
Wait a minute. So Kate Meany's dead?
No, Kate Meany, I'm sorry. Kate Meany is not dead. I apologize. That might be a little confusing. But yes, we're just waiting to go on with the Ox. I wish I remembered who his producer was.
That would help.
And I wish I could have thanked him by name. Oh, well. Also, make sure you sound like an ass kisser as you would on any interview. Absolutely, we totted. That's his...
KNSI. Now your local forecast from the Hanson Paving.
Oh, what's the forecast look
High
like?
temperatures warming up into the mid-40s for today. We'll see lots of sunshine. Then for tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 24. For Wednesday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine with upper 40s for high temperatures, and so well above average on Thursday, back to 44. I'm meteorologist Michael Caro on KNSI. Right now, it's 32.
A trust is a valuable tool.
All right, so now we'll get some commercials and then we'll jump in. Mr. Approachable says, someone jump over and see if Johnny's board is open. We can play sound drops through his. Wait, what?
No, you can't.
No, you can't. He's here.
Yeah, I'm not.
What'd you think this was, Zoom?
Yeah, no, I'm not remoting in. I'm a real boy today.
Yes. So we've had Raleigh. We didn't get Corey. We didn't get Oz.
Yeah.
But we got Raleigh on for the Unite Cloud thing. That was nice. Sean says, say my name on the radio and I'll donate some grub stubs to Steel Toe. Michael B says, this has been the first radio I've heard since 2002. Aaron's on with the male appendage.
Clinic with us today, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Dr. Jen Garding.
We have a minute 40 before we start. Are you excited?
I am very excited, but I'm also nervous because I have this urge in me to just scream N-word right as soon as we start. Just, hey, never mind.
Annoyed Wawa Supervisor, can you please let the Ox know that we are still disappointed about the condition he left our Destin location in 2008? It's the stuff of legend. Oh, no. Not good. What if we're remarkably underwhelming today and it leads to absolutely no recruitment and nobody wants us?
Oh, I hope not.
That would be terrible. Oh,
I'll blame you.
You look, that's part of the job of being the guy in charge.
Yep.
Keep the
captain goes down with the boat.
That's right. By the way, guys, yes, we are going to keep the Fs to them, but we're radio friendly now. All right, I'm minimizing your chat. I'm not watching you guys
because we can't have that input.
People are asking, hey, where'd Eichler go? The answer is simple. Eichler moved to Sauk Rapids. This is Tom McGonigal, CEO of Eichler. Eichler
right,
is still
we're going to be on in a little bit.
Steel, Eichler is still running the same
So we're gonna
high-quality
chill
machine
till we're
shop
on.
They always have, just from their new location in Sauk Rapids.
See, if we were on the radio, now would be when we say all of the N-words.
Right.
Eichler, just off Highway 10
Exactly.
at 806 South Fenton Drive in Sauk Rapids. Be sure to tell your friends or find us on the web at eichler.com.
I got serious about staying fit just a couple of years ago.
Quit
Now
bragging.
5Ks, yoga, and smart nutrition are all part of my weekly routine. Part of my eating right plan? Country Hearth Breads. Natural breads
Have you
with the
tried
whole
swallowing
grains and
protein?
natural ingredients my body needs to perform at its best. Just a slice of toasted multigrain with peanut butter
I'm gonna put my
before a
leg up. I
workout,
want to be comfy.
I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
While I do
Country
radio.
Hearth is
I'm
the
doing
easiest
we're
I'm
doing
balls
radio.
out.
for me and great tasting
We're doing
too.
radio.
Country Hearth Breads, baking our best for you.
There is something for the entire family at this year's First Steps
Calm
Baby
down.
Expo, presented
What?
by St. Cloud Toyota, Saturday,
better
March
not be.
9th. Snap your child's photo with the Easter Bunny, thanks
No.
to Jackie Pazorski with the Dyna Realty.
I
Or
don't
get
believe in
creative
that.
in the building blocks area, thanks to Rice Companies. Be
No.
sure to enter your little one in the Little Cuties photo contest.
My kid
sponsored
doesn't
by
believe in
Allison
that.
House Portraits
My kid
and
believes that if you
Design.
take a
All
picture, it
non-walking
steals their
infants
soul.
Sign up for the
I'm very
Diaper
worried
Derby
that
for your chance to
that
win
Easter Bunny might have
$1,000
some,
cash.
you know,
Thanks to
warrants
Signature
about
Auto.
things with
Special
kids.
thanks
We
to our
gotta look
supporting
into this.
partner,
I'm worried that my kid's
First
going to end up on a
Steps
database.
ABXO.com.
If I-
Rolling through a Tuesday, pre-CPAC Tuesday. St. Cloud Mayor Dave Kleiss hosting Hot Talk with the Ox tomorrow as the Ox wings his way to our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. for CPAC 2024. Can't wait. Thursday and Friday, broadcasting from our nation's capital, at least across the Potomac anyway, in National Harbor, Maryland. Our title sponsors for this year's Ox Selection 2024 all year, Mike Bryant with Bradshaw Bryant Law Office and Coils, Flags and Flagpoles. In the news today, when I woke up this morning, I heard a disturbing sound. I saw this, actually. It was so funny when I saw this. And I caught the KNSI email blast this morning. And it just popped up while I was kind of looking at some other news stories. And, it says Unite Cloud. The headline says Unite Cloud ceases operation. So I clicked on it. And this is from the KNSI news site. Unite Cloud says its last day of operation is Tuesday, February 20th, also known as World Day of Social Justice. Well, who knew we were in such a monumental day? I don't think I've ever celebrated this day. The nonprofit was formed 8 years ago in 2015 to end discrimination in central Minnesota as St. Cloud's Somali refugee population exploded. Well, whatever the case, maybe it had noble beginnings. I don't know. Natalie Ringsmuth, who was the head honcho of it, got it going. I actually met her and made her acquaintance as she was planning it before she even launched it. And we had her on the air many times as it was coming up. It certainly sounded like it had noble intentions. Of course, later she was trying to foment riots in St. Cloud when there were no riots happening, trying to be part of the cool crowd with everybody doing it. And the St. Cloud police chief was very upset with her, as was the mayor, of course. Among other things, it more divided than united anybody, including those of us who were attempting to, again, give her some airtime on the air and talk to him about it. The Ox may be a little bit more diplomatic than our next guest, but a longtime St. Cloud area talk show host from the formerly known as Steel Toe Morning Show, Aaron Imholt, my old friend. Welcome to Hot Talk with the Ox, sir.
Hey, buddy, how are you? You know, Steel Toe is still going. We're on the air right now on the internet. Of course, not as prestigious as you having the actual real broadcast gig. But I tell you what, I'm really sorry for my elevated speech pattern and everything else. I can't. I have a lovely wife. I have an amazing family. I still can't remember the last time I was this happy.
Wow. Aaron, I thought I thought it was over. I really did. I thought it was long over. I'm surprised that they're still somehow operating. You don't hear much from them, But they never really amounted to anything other than being kind of a thorn in the side. But what was your beef with them?
Well, my beef was I would have her and Haji Yusuf. You remember Haji, right?
Oh, I remember Haji very, very well. We had him in studio as well, quite a bit.
Yeah. So the actual, like, the Somali representation of the group that was pushing, advocating for Somali refugees and whatnot. We would have them on the show, and then, like clockwork, 2 months later, they would be trying to boycott us and call our sponsors because we made a joke they didn't like, or we didn't like that they tried to start a riot or try to bully some guy by littering his sidewalk with chalk because they didn't like that he had a Confederate flag up. I was just like, I don't know how to say this diplomatically other than I personally despise Natalie Copeland. She's always been a very terrible person to me. In my opinion, allegedly, so on and so forth. We've never seen eye to eye. She was always very dastardly. She would always organize boycotts and calling sponsors and like the worst parts of cancel culture. It's like Natalie Copeland / Ringsmith was created in a social justice lab to be the worst parts of every obnoxious thing people like that do.
Of course, I had a different relationship with her. We were friendly, cordial. I got to know her again before as she was kind of working on starting this. I get exactly what you're saying, Aaron Imholt, not taking anything away from you or saying that you're wrong about that. But one of the things that bothered me the most is that the idea sounded great, right? I mean, so they kind of took this thing and went the wrong direction with it.
Yeah.
Well, the idea was Haji's.
Yeah, the idea was Haji's, and I remember Haji when he got, I don't know if you remember this, Haji got pushed out of Unite Cloud because he endorsed a Republican candidate for state office, and the people at Unite Cloud who are all about understanding and tolerance just couldn't abide by that. So he got
as long as they're Democrat.
Exactly. Yeah. So he gets pushed out of the organization that he started. He got Steve Jobs basically out of Unite Cloud, and then Natalie took it over, and it went from being this, like you said, this noble pursuit to now all of a sudden anything that could grab headlines they were going to go after. Somebody shoots a St. Cloud police officer in the hand. The police heroically subdue that man without any more bloodshed, and they continue to propagate this rumor that night that 2 unarmed black teens had been shot by the police, and all this unrest happens.
Total fake. Totally fabricated.
Yeah.
100%.
It never existed. And then they started as, hey, we're going to work on the relationship between the Somali community and St. Cloud, and then it shifted into like Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ and gay and trans and all this other stuff, and you're like, wait a minute, was Haji like the glue keeping this thing focused? And then once he was gone, it was just off to the races, and any kind of progressive cause they could pursue for attention, they would. It really, you're right, it lost its way.
I think what bothered me the most and what really kind of severed my ties, I think, with the organization, one of them was the lawsuit against Raleigh's. And we've got Raleigh joining us, Aaron, shortly.
Yes.
So looking forward to having Raleigh on. But also the fact that she used that community organization status to actually run for elected office and get elected to the school board while being an activist with this. And I think that's what bothered me the most.
Yeah. Well, my co-host, Johnny here, he can speak to that because as much as I'm celebrating the demise of Unite Cloud today, he's still pretty worried because Natalie herself is on the school board where his child
My
goes
daughter
to school.
goes to school. Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, great. So we've gotten it mostly taken care of. A little bit left to do.
I mean, yeah.
Isn't that something?
It's crazy, yeah.
And now changing the last name, of course, using the name Ringsmouth, which is a very prominent name in the Waite Park, St. Cloud area. And now, oh, by the way, it's Copeland. And it was weird. She was supposedly talking to some other school board members using her different last names kind of interchangeably.
Yeah.
So it was kind of confusing what her actual name was.
Well,
and yet the ignorant voters of St. Cloud continue to vote for people of which they know nothing about.
Yeah, that's too bad, especially judges and school boards, which are, you could argue in many ways, Ox, are more important than a lot of the national offices in terms of like your everyday life, school boards, judges, things like that. But yeah, the Ringsmith was her married name, and then she got divorced, and she should have been using Copeland. But you're right, she kept using whichever name was beneficial at the time.
Seemed like that anyway. But yeah, I haven't talked to her in a long time. And again, I mean, we had, when I first met her, she seemed like a nice person as a person and had good intentions. But whether that was always the devious plan all along, Aaron, and the Ox was just a dupe, or whether they start hanging around in these social justice warrior circles and just, like it's an echo chamber that somehow pollutes them even further. I don't know what the progression is. But boy, it sure ceased to do really any good rather quickly.
I think your second one is correct. And Ox, I've got too many O-named people in my life. Yes. Ox, I would never say that you were duped, and I would never say you were a dope. Never. The thing about Natalie is this. She was always very good at smoothing things over when she upset you, and then resetting the table and upsetting you again. And then it would just be this loop. And you could be right. I think it is kind of getting into that social justice thing. You start to feel emboldened. And just because you think your cause is just, no matter what you do in pursuit of that cause is then right too. And anyone who says you might be doing it the wrong way is then an enemy. I think that's kind of what happened.
Well, and I wanted to get you on, Aaron. It's so weird. Again, I didn't fully finish my thought, but this morning when I saw that, I immediately thought of you. Not that I don't think of you often, but it's not a daily thought. And we haven't talked in a long time. And when I saw that, I thought I should call Aaron. Before, like, the last part of your first name came out of my brain, you texted me.
Yes.
I was just like, wow, holy cow, we're reading each other's minds.
We were doing a little nighttime stream because this Unite Cloud topic came up, and we were on, and when I thought about it, I went, I was actually on the air, and I said, you know what, I'm going to text the Ox right now. I'm like, if he needs anybody for the Unite Cloud memorial service tomorrow, I am more than willing to offer my services.
And so, for the record, I'm not just looking for people to slam Unite Cloud. You gave them a lot of airtime, and you were really out there with them, and that's the impetus then for our conversation today. So I don't want to be accused of just going out and trying to find people to rip on Unite Cloud. You and Unite Cloud spent probably more, certainly antagonistic time on the air than I did with them, but more time period. You certainly gave them the time of day, and according to you, they were mean to you.
Are you trying to? I don't like that the insinuation here is that I would be in any way antagonistic.
The great Aaron Imholt, Steel Toe Morning Show. I love it. Hey, man, it's great to connect. And you remember the lawsuit against Raleigh's?
Yes.
That essentially, I think, really brought them down. We're going to talk to Raleigh here in a sec.
Awesome. Love Raleigh.
Aaron, great talking to you, my friend. And big day for you, certainly, and for a lot of folks.
Absolutely. I'm going to go keep gloating. Take it easy, Ox. Good to talk to you again.
Always a pleasure. RIP, Unite Cloud, and good to meet Johnny. Hope to see you guys in person one of these days.
Hopefully very soon. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care. Thank you, Aaron.
All right. There we go.
I don't know how to tell him I can't stand for such a thing.
That was a good appearance.
Yeah.
We did a good job.
I spent the entire time going, don't say it.
Right.
Don't say it.
We behaved ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We were charming. We were
never mind. I'm sorry. It was back there.
We were funny. People saying, great call, Aaron. That was awesome.